I'm sharing this because, honestly, I've had a terrible day at work, and I'm struggling to process the information I just received. I can't disclose where I work since it might attract attention, and I could lose my job instantly. All I can say is that I'm employed at a space agency. Things here are tightly controlled. They don't want any leaks until they're absolutely certain of their findings. I've been here for a while, but I still only know what I've been assigned. I wasn't meant to uncover this information. I shouldn't have taken that phone. What am I doing? I could get fired for this, but honestly, losing my job might be the least of my worries. Let me explain how I got the phone. My boss, who I won't describe because she's not crucial to this, asked me to deliver some files to the processing lab. The details aren't important. She just wanted to submit a couple of hypotheses for research. The processing lab is located past meeting room AB, which I didn't realize was in use that day until I heard voices from inside. I couldn't make out everything being said. The doors muffled the sound, and the recording was poor. But as I listened, I began to recognize one of the voices. I couldn't place it at first, but then I heard others in the room speak. "No one can find out about this recording. It could jeopardize our next mission," one man said. I didn't recognize his voice, but I figured he was someone I should know. "Someone, replay it," a woman said, and the recording started again. That's when I realized whose voice it was, and my heart stopped. I have to admit something that could get me in serious trouble, but to hell with it. There's a fire alarm in the stairwell, and I know there are no cameras there. In that moment, I didn't think. I just knew I had to get that recording. So I pulled the fire alarm. Even if I got fired, it might be worth it. People rushed out in a panic since the alarm was unscheduled, and no one noticed me slipping into the meeting room, not even those already inside. I grabbed what was on the table, a badly damaged phone, slipped it into my pocket, and ensured no one saw me. I quickly rejoined the crowd, casually chatting and pretending to be confused. In the chaos, I made my way to my car, placed the phone in the storage compartment, locked it, and returned to the crowd. I hesitated to leave immediately. If I did, I'd be the prime suspect. Eventually, after the commotion, they realized the phone was missing and searched everyone. They couldn't hold us for long and let us go one by one after the searches. Thankfully, they didn't check our cars. I don't think they believed anyone had time to get to their cars. It was a stroke of luck, really, because if they had checked, things could have turned out very differently. Anyway, as soon as I got home, I told my mom and dad that I had some work to finish and would be up late, so they probably shouldn't bother me. This was common enough, so they wouldn't think twice about it. Once I was in my room, I closed the door. You might wonder why I didn't just lock it. I come from an Indian household, and locking the door would immediately raise suspicion with my parents. My sibling wouldn't think much of it, but she'd probably be concerned, and I didn't want to involve them in this mess. I quickly unlocked the phone, bypassed the password, and opened the voice recording app. There were 2 files, one was unlabeled, and the other had names of popular songs. After a quick listen, I recognized the same voice singing for fun. I knew we had a compatible charger, so I connected it to my laptop and transferred the files. Once they were downloaded, I hid the phone in my desk. I planned to listen to the recording and then dispose of the phone. There was no point in trying to return it. I'd get caught either way. Now for another explanation. I've tried to link the files here multiple times, but it refuses to upload. I've tried several times since destroying the phone, and nothing seems to work. At this point, I just need to get this off my chest and want nothing to do with it anymore. So I've decided to transcribe the recordings as I listen. Here goes nothing. It's been almost a week since they selected me for my first solo adventure into space. The more I think about it, the stranger it feels. I know they've been prepping me for years. They trained all of us, which is what weirds me out. You'd think they would test candidates and focus on the most promising ones, but instead, they trained us all and then chose me. I can't lie, I'm excited about it. I've always wanted to be an astronomer, or more accurately, I've always wanted to go to space. I'm grateful to be here, especially to be the first solo explorer. I remember falling asleep in the meeting room. It was strange. Some sort of haze made me feel utterly exhausted. I thought it might be anemia acting up, so I drank some water, but it didn't help. Eventually I dozed off, but now it feels different. It felt off. When I woke up, it was evening, and someone was shaking me awake. It was Karina, a girl from my training group, smiling at me. "Hey, don't tell me Madam Chosen One is sleep-deprived right before the big day," she teased. Karina and I had a unique connection, not quite romantic, but definitely more than friendship. It made training much more enjoyable. No, I'm fine, Ria. Did I miss something?" I asked, rubbing my eyes. I honestly just passed out. "It's cool, madam. Is it okay if I call you that today? Would you prefer something more androgynous?" she asked, her concern adorable. "It's fine," I replied, smiling as I drank from the bottle she handed me. It was only then I noticed others in the training room chatting. Did the meeting end? I asked. Karina laughed. Oh, it ended a while ago, but it didn't really apply to you. Honestly, I don't know why you even came. It was meant for all of us except you, Madam Chosen One. I rolled my eyes. You can stop calling me that now, or the novelty will wear off. Anyway, are you going to keep being cute, or are you going to fill me in? She sat on the table next to my chair. They just told us that since you were chosen for the program, we're all being let go. This will be our last day here since you're being sent off at dawn tomorrow, she explained. I nodded as she continued. It wasn't anything major, really. They appreciated our volunteering and said the time we sacrificed will be compensated. I frowned. That's it? You're just letting everyone go? I mean, I'm sorry, Karina. I know everyone here wanted this opportunity as much as I did. For them to just let you all go. She shook her head. Hey, no need for apologies. We all knew what we signed up for, and only one of us would be selected. Besides, we all kind of agreed that if anyone should go up, it should be you. She smiled, patting my head comfortingly. I was hesitant, but finally said, You say so. Hey, Chosen One, heads up. One of the guys in my training group, Matt, stood up and tossed something at me. I ducked just in time to see it was a paper airplane. Oh, you're on. I grinned, grabbing a piece of paper and setting out to make the best paper airplane of my life. The atmosphere turned playful as the 9 others in the room, including Karina, began throwing their paper airplanes at each other. It was a lovely scene. The room was bathed in golden sunset hues, filled with laughter. Given how competitive we had been for the spot, it was surprising to see everyone getting along so well. All right, everyone, settle down, a familiar voice called out. We turned to see Bruce in the doorway. He was a big man, mostly muscled, but he had a kind face. Don't be fooled, though he was a strict trainer during our program, but he was fair, a genuinely good guy. Now, where's our lucky trainee? I raised my hand, eyebrows raised. Here, sir, anything you need. His smile brightened. I come bearing gifts well, a single gift for now, he said, opening the door wider for someone familiar to peek inside. Hey! A huge smile spread across my face. It's been a while, get over here. My younger sibling rushed over and crashed into me. Being in the training program meant I hadn't seen visitors, and my sibling had been so busy lately that I hadn't seen her in a while. The combination of that and knowing I would be away for some time made me a bit emotional. Hi, she said, hugging me tightly. I can't believe you're going into space. I shook my head. Honestly, I can't believe it either. This has been my dream since I was 5. But what are you doing here? How did you know I was here? I thought this was supposed to be a secret. My sister quickly interrupted. I've actually been working here for a while now. I didn't know you were here until you were chosen. We decided to keep it a secret to surprise you today, she said with a smile. After that, everything felt like a blur. I was having fun with my sister and my friends, but looking back, something felt off. It all seemed too staged. I can't quite explain it, but it felt too perfect. I've never been someone with perfect luck. Situations rarely align so well. Everything about the trainees getting along, the beautiful setting, my sister being here was everything I had hoped for before I left. But maybe I felt something was wrong now because of what I know. Before I realized it, I was ushered into another room, a cafeteria. There was all my favorite food and a cake. It was a farewell party, I think. The more I reflect, the more I realize there were definitely more people there than I knew. Maybe they were other employees, but why would they be at my party? At the time, I didn't care. I was having so much fun. People were congratulating me, shaking my hand, hugging me, and kissing me on the cheek. I should have recognized that something was wrong by then. I've never been one to let anyone other than my closest friends and family be physically affectionate with me. It just wasn't something I was comfortable with. The fact that I was allowing people to get so close without feeling anxious should have been a clear sign that something wasn't right. But it wasn't, and now I'm here. The party continued for a while, and by the time things began to wind down, the sun had set. It was just me, my sister, Karina, and Bruce left. Everyone else had already departed. So, Chosen One, feeling confident? Bruce asked while munching on a piece of cake. Still nervous as hell, obviously. Bruce, I have anxiety, remember? I shot back, glaring at him. Anyway, what's with the whole Chosen One thing? Is that a nickname or a joke everyone came up with? Seems like everyone got the idea. Karina laughed, sipping water from her cup. Don't be anxious, darling. You're going to do wonders. You were born for this, you know. My sister had grown strangely quiet. I knew she could be quiet sometimes, but she had been silent for nearly 3 minutes and it started to worry me. Are you okay? I asked her. She turned to me, her expression blank and confused. What? Where am I? What's going on? She asked. We're at my going away party. Are you all right? I replied, puzzled. Karina made a small noise of concern. Maybe you're tired. How about you drink some water and take a nap? You and Madam Chosen One have to go soon, she suggested, handing my sister her cup of water. Here, drink from this, Karina encouraged. My sister nodded and took a sip while I wiggled my fingers, reaching for the cup. Come on, I'm thirsty too, I said playfully. Oh, thirsty, huh? Karina teased. I'm sitting right here, madam, she grinned. Don't start, Rena. I rolled my eyes. You know that's not what I mean. As cute as you are, I added, nudging her with my shoulder as I took the cup from my sister and drank from it. Feeling better? I asked. A little bit, she replied. Bruce sighed. You really should get some rest. You seem tired. Maybe you can go home and come see your sibling off tomorrow morning. My sister shook her head. No, I'm fine. I'd feel really bad if I let my sibling go to space without spending as much time with her as I can. Bruce nodded understandingly. I get it, but I just need to remind you that she needs to be put into the quarantine area by 8 p.m. to be ready for the mission tomorrow. The chosen one needs her sleep, of course. Yeah, I get it. It's already 7:30, I said, glancing at the clock. By the way, where is this quarantine area? Bruce grinned. Glad you asked, Cadet. Come on. It's time we get you up there. I'm sure everything should be ready by now. If you asked me how we got to the spiral staircase tower, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I have no memory of the area surrounding us. Everything looked familiar, yet I had no clear recollection of where we went. All I remember is entering the tower, which was lit with blue lights and featured a spiral staircase. As I stepped inside, I heard the sounds of party horns and confetti rained down. The other trainees stood at the top of the staircase, holding confetti poppers and party horns, grinning. You guys, I yelled up at them, a grin on my face as I fought back tears. This is so sweet. Yeah, chosen one. Now get up here. Take your walk of victory, or your climb of victory, I guess, Matt called out, teasing me. I rolled my eyes. I thought I told you guys to stop calling me chosen one, Matt. It makes me feel weird. As I climbed up, my sister Karina and Bruce followed, watching and smiling as I high-fived some of the trainees, hugged others, and had small conversations. But then I started taking too long. Bruce put a hand on my shoulder. Hey, as much as I don't want you to rush, it's 7:45. You probably want to get to the top of the stairs, he said. I took his word for it and climbed the last few steps, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. I felt tears welling up in my eyes. Mom, Dad, of course, I called them by their names in my native tongue. But for anyone who finds this and listens, I'll keep it in English. I ran over to them and hugged them tightly. If there's one thing people know about me, it's how much I love my family. My sister joined in the hug, and my mom leaned back, saying, We're so proud of you. All your aunts, uncles, grandparents, and cousins are proud of you for bringing honor to our family. You're going to be a part of history tomorrow. I nodded. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to miss you guys so much. I'll miss everyone, I said. But as I spoke, something felt strange. I couldn't quite put it into words, but it felt off. Why was I doing this? My sister placed her hand on my shoulder. Yeah, I'm fine. Just getting emotional, I think, I said, trying to laugh through my tears. I took a sip of water and took a deep breath. I'm all right. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I won't let you down, Mom and Dad. I'll do what I need to do to make history, and then I'll come home and we can celebrate, I promised, hugging my parents once more. We know you will. You've come this far, haven't you? My dad said. This is what you've always wanted, to go to space. Now it's time to make your dreams come true. I nodded, but Bruce cleared his throat, almost sounding emotional. Well, I hate to break up the moment, but our chosen one here has to get inside for quarantining to be ready for the mission tomorrow. Cadet, it's time for you to say your goodbyes. I turned back to my parents and hugged them tightly, my tears falling. Goodbye, Mom and Dad. I'll be back home soon. I promise, I said. Then I turned to my sister and hugged her tightly. Be good, okay? Do well in college. Be good to Mom and Dad. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, okay? I said. When I pulled away, she was crying. Be careful, stay alive, and don't do anything stupid that'll get you blown up, she said, sniffling. That's what the training was for, kid. I grinned, trying to hold back my own tears as I hugged my family one last time. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. Did I really want to leave my family behind? Before I could say anything more, they waved goodbye and headed down the stairs. Maybe I did want this. But then I turned to Karina. So it's been a fun ride, hasn't it? We've been through this together, I chuckled, looking at her through my tears. She stepped forward and took my hands in hers. Even though she was taller, I was the one who could easily carry her, even in 5-inch heels. Her hands were gentle. It has, and I hate that it has to end, she said softly. I laughed a little and tucked a piece of her hair behind her ear. Who says it has to? I'm going to come back for you, darling. As long as you don't forget me, I said, raising an eyebrow. Forget you? You're so silly. If anything, I'm hoping you don't forget me, she replied playfully. Oh, chosen one, she said with a mock vow, kissing my hand. I rolled my eyes. You know what? Forget it. I'll be back for you. You're just as important to me as my family, and you know how much they mean to me, she laughed. Okay, firstly, nothing is as important to you as your family, so that obviously isn't true. But she stepped closer as she continued. I'd like to think I'm a close second. Yeah, you are, I said, my voice a bit breathy. This girl was really too sweet. She stepped even closer, and there was barely any space between us. I know you don't do the whole romance thing, but she began nervously. I smiled and wrapped my arms around her waist. A hug would be nice, for good luck, I said, offering her the chance she seemed to want. She rolled her eyes and hugged me tightly. As she pulled back, she whispered, You had luck, chosen one. I'll see you tomorrow morning. With that, she slipped away down the stairs. Finally, I turned to Bruce, who gave me a sympathetic smile. It's time for you to head inside, cadet, he said, pointing to the huge open metal door. Huh? I realized I hadn't even noticed when it had opened. Thanks, Bruce. You really took care of me and trained me to be the best cadet I could be. I'm glad I got you as my trainer. I feel totally prepared for space, I said playfully, elbowing him. I sure hope so, chosen one. We're all depending on you, he said, his voice carrying an underlying seriousness. As I stepped into the room and turned around, waiting for the doors to close, I heard him say, Goodbye, chosen one. I looked back, my heart racing as I saw him waving at me with a strange, pleasant smile. It felt off. The door closed, and that was when I realized something was completely wrong. As it locked into place, I couldn't shake the feeling that Bruce's sudden lack of emotion as he closed the door and said goodbye wasn't just my imagination. I walked up to the door and tried the handle, only to find it locked. No keyhole, no password, nothing. I had been locked in. As I explored the room, I was grateful for its size. If it had been small and cramped, I would have lost my mind. I was also glad I had my bag with me because the only interesting feature in the room was the glass dome ceiling showcasing the night sky. It was beautiful, but with all my nervous energy, it wasn't going to help me calm down. When I checked my phone, a sinking feeling washed over me. I had no signal. Great. Trapped in a huge empty room with nothing to do but stare at the stars. I hadn't brought any food or water, and I didn't see anywhere to sleep. My eyes landed on a lump that turned out to be a sleeping bag. With nothing else to do, I set it up and stared up into space. It was stunning, especially since this facility was far from city lights. The stars were much clearer, even revealing galaxies to the naked eye. I had always loved gazing at the night sky, losing myself in its beauty. Eventually, around 11 p.m., I began to feel strange. As I replayed the day's events in my mind, unease settled in. Everything felt rehearsed, scripted, almost like a play designed to make me happy, to make the chosen one happy. That was when it struck me how odd it was that everyone was calling me the chosen one. What had started as a joke felt increasingly unsettling. Karina had called me that. Bruce had called me that. Matt had called me that. Even my own mom and dad had called me that. If that wasn't messed up enough, I sat up. But Karina had been right. I loved my family more than anything, more than myself. So, why had I agreed to go to space and return at who knows when? I didn't even know my return date. That was when the pieces began to click. A knock on the door interrupted my thoughts, and out of curiosity, I walked over and whispered, Hello, Ari. It was the first time I had heard anyone say my name all day. Ari, can you hear me? A voice called quietly through the door. Karina? I asked in surprise. We already said goodbye. What are you? She cut me off. Don't drink the water. I blinked, filled with even more confusion. What? The water? I repeated. She insisted. Don't drink the water. That's what they're using to make us all quiet and obedient. If you drink it, you'll do whatever they want you to do, Ari. You cannot drink the water, or else you'll go to space. You'll do what they want you to do. I was completely lost now. Karina, you said you were happy that I was going, that I was meant to go, that I was the chosen one. No, that wasn't me. I don't want you to go, Ari. I want you to stay here. Not just because I love you, but because if you go, you might not come back, she said, her voice shaking. Tell me everything, I urged, genuinely scared now. She made a frustrated sound. I don't have time. If they find out I'm not in my room anymore, they're going to get me again. They make me drink the goddamn water, she whispered, nearly yelling. What does the water do? I asked, trying to get answers. I don't know exactly what it does, Ari. Apparently, it makes us want to send you into space on your own with no backup. It randomly selected you. Doesn't it seem weird to you? She pressed. I had to admit that, as the haze began to fade from my mind, she was right. Why would they randomly select one of us to go into space? They hadn't even told us who was the best in training. They just suddenly declared that I was the chosen one. At that moment, I realized something. Karina, I don't think I want to go to space. I don't know if I ever did. You know how much I love my family. Why would I want to leave them and go into space, only to come back at some unspecified time? Hell, they haven't even told me a return date. My panic started to take over, and I began to yell. It's because they never intended for you to come back, Ari, Karina responded, just as panicked. Think about it. What was the first thing they did when they offered you this position to work here? You didn't apply to be a part of this training program, did you? Slowly, I shook my head, but realized she couldn't see me. No, I applied to just be a researcher here. I never wanted to leave Earth. And during my interview, they offered you a glass of water, didn't they? And they told you not to tell anyone what your actual job is, right? Karina asked. Right, I whispered. Listen, I don't have much time. I don't know what's going on, but promise me, do not drink any water that is here. When they let you out in the morning, do whatever you can to fight your way out. You need to get out of here. Please, she pleaded. At this point, I was completely ready to listen to her. But what about you? I asked. I can't just leave you here. I'll be fine. I promise I can get out of here much easier than you can. Just swear to me. Someone's coming, she interrupted. Don't drink. There was a sudden breath and then silence. Karina, I called out. Karina, can you hear me? I tried again. No response. I eventually accepted that Karina was gone after waiting for 5 minutes and hearing nothing at all, not even the sound of anyone breathing. She had been right, though. During my interview, they did give me water. Throughout the entire training program, they always provided us with food and water. Not stuff we brought in, but their own food and their own water. And it was true. So much of today had felt strangely perfect, like not a single bad thing was happening. It was all too picturesque, like a strange play. I had seen Karina drinking water, and I had drank water too. Then it hit me. My little sister tended to carry around her own water bottle more than anything. Towards the end of the party, she had been acting strange, as though she had no idea what was going on. If she hadn't drunk so much of the water, maybe whatever effect it had on her had worn off. Then, when Karina had given her water from her cup, it might have brought the effect back. I took a deep breath. All I had to do was not drink the water from the dispenser in the room, right? That couldn't be too hard. I lay down in the middle of the room in the sleeping bag, wishing I could look up at the night sky to keep me company and calm my nerves a bit. Ever since I was a kid, I had always loved space. Back then, I really wanted to go into space. But now, with the life I have back home and the people I have on Earth, I don't think I want to go anymore. About 2 hours into lying there, I started to feel that something was very, very wrong. My heart dropped and my heart rate quickened. It was almost like I was having a panic attack, but there was no trigger. I was all alone in this room with nothing else, no one else. There was nothing that could have triggered the panic. I couldn't even tell what was happening. It took me too long to realize what was wrong. Looking up at the sky, I felt this deep, unending, terrible fear, this horrible emptiness inside me. I don't know how to explain it. God, I wanted to rip my skin off, tear my hair out, do anything to feel something other than this emptiness I can only describe as nothingness. When I looked up at the sky, there was nothing. It's not like the stars disappeared. The sky looked exactly the same, but I could feel it. I know I'm not going crazy. I could feel how empty it was, how nothing it was. And it was alive. I could feel it out there, slowly making its way through my body, through my blood. It was all cold, dark, nothing. It's 3 a.m. now. I can feel nothing looking at me, calling me. It's already claimed me. I'm the chosen one. I understand. It's not even trying to get closer. I'm not worried. It can't feel anything except hunger. It already knows I'll be there soon. I am so thirsty. That's why I'm recording this now. I know I'll end up drinking the water eventually. I can't hold out for another 3 hours. At least if I record this, someone can find the phone, and I'll have a record of me. I can feel nothing. I don't want to feel anything. When I drink the water, I can't feel it anymore. The first audio recording ends. I have a lot to say about this, but I think it would probably be better for me to explain everything after the second recording. It's a lot shorter than the first. So, here goes. I don't know how long I've been up here. Everything's a blur. I don't even know how I got here, which is quite concerning, seeing as I was the one who had to initiate the liftoff on the ship. All I remember is them bringing me out of the room, strapping me into the space shuttle, and then everyone waving goodbye and smiling. They were all smiling, the same smile, waving exactly the same. My sister wasn't there to send me off. Karina was. I guess they got to her last night, after she tried to warn me. I put together most of the pieces. I think it's just a shame it took me so long. The nothing, it's stronger here. It's not just in my blood or my lungs sliding through me anymore. It's enveloping me up here. It makes you feel nothing but cold, void emptiness. The nothingness. I'm sure of it. Nothing is alive. I can feel it moving and crawling closer. It's not in a hurry. It knows it will reach me soon enough. I'm going to try to explain it, but I don't think I can actually put into words what this thing is or what it isn't, I suppose. But I'll try nonetheless. We humans only know about a small portion of the universe. That's a known fact. There are so many things out there that we don't know, that we don't understand. I think that's what makes this so hard to explain. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. But there's something out there that's simply nothing. It's not there. but it is there. It's a void in existence, something made of nothing. And it takes and it takes and it takes until there's nothing left to take. And it'll keep taking until the end of time. There's no beginning to it. There's no end. It's nothing. And yet, it's everything. And it's so hungry. And I'm very interested in it, a human that's not inside the confines of the planet Earth. It's intriguing once again. It's quite funny to me really now that I think about it. We humans repeat history all the time, even when we think we're better than that. The number of times humans have sacrificed each other to please some higher being or higher order is uncountable. And yet, how many times has that actually saved us? It didn't take me long to realize that the chosen one was practically synonymous with sacrifice. They set me up here to try and appease the nothing, to give it an offering. I'm sure this isn't the first time. Do you know what the funniest part is? This won't do anything to stop the inevitable. They never asked for sacrifices or offerings. It doesn't need to ask for anything. It just takes. But it will take me, and it will devour me, and it will leave nothing left of me. And it won't stop it from coming closer and closer to Earth. I can feel it waiting. It's biding its time. There's no rush. It'll devour us all soon, and we'll all become nothing. It's here. Now I can feel it. I'll spare you having to hear my end. I suppose this is my goodbye. Hopefully this ship makes it back to Earth somehow. Oh, I'm sure it will. Nothing wants only me. If I've learned anything, it's that there's nothing in space, and nothing is always here waiting. It'll come to take me, and it'll come to take you as well. Second recording ends. I need to take a minute. Okay, I stepped away for a couple of hours to process this, but there are a couple of things in these recordings that I have to address, right? Firstly, at the end of the second recording, the audio starts distorting a bit. I don't know what could cause that sort of distortion, but I swear I can hear something under the person's voice. I can't even describe that sound. Now, I'm willing to write that off as simply an issue with the phone itself or some kind of interference. But here are the undeniable facts. As I mentioned before, I have to get my hands on this recording because I recognize this person's voice. I'm sure people have somewhat pieced together what was going on, so you can understand why I might be concerned. The person speaking in those audios is my older sister. I can completely confirm that, especially since I grabbed her phone to check if it was the same phone, same password, same apps, same wallpaper, same social media. Everything is exactly the same. The only difference is that the two recordings I listened to were not on my sister's current phone. Let me explain. I referred to my sibling as her earlier and as sister just now. My sibling is non-binary and switches between feminine and neutral pronouns. Of course, the truth is that my older sibling's code name in the agency is Ari. I refer to them by that name. I know that Ari is very close with someone named Karina. I also know that Ari has been undergoing special training in the same space agency where I work. In fact, I found out yesterday that they were selected for a very special assignment. I didn't actually know what they did at work until just now. Ari has been home often, and when they are, they don't talk about work. What bothers me is that somehow this recording seems to know I had made a plan to surprise my sibling next week, the day before they went on their mission. I worked on this plan with their supervisor, Bruce. I've been hearing people talk about the Chosen One a lot recently. And now, here's what's really concerning me. If what the Ari in the recording said is right, then there's something wrong with the water. I know that Ari drinks a lot of water during the day, and they often forget to take their water bottle. They've been acting quite strange the last time they were home. I don't tend to drink much water in general, and I almost always carry my water bottle with me. The fact that Ari in the recording even got that little detail right bothers me. I know I've seen shipments of water bottles come to the company, and I know those are not from any companies that mainly sell water, if they sell water at all. Every time I interacted with a higher up in the agency, whether in a meeting or something else, I was offered water. Every time I talked to Bruce, I was offered a cup of water, and my water bottle was suddenly missing. But if what this recording says is true, then how did I get a recording of something that should be happening in 6 days? You know what? I don't think that matters right now. I doubt this is a prank, seeing as some of the most important people in this agency were in that room. They mentioned that it could impact the mission next week. I might be able to admit that my sibling could have lost their mind talking about this nothing entity. But if there is any place where time could be warped, it would be in space, wouldn't it? I have to do something. I can't let my sibling die. I need to warn them. I need to go convince my sibling of what's happening. Then I need to destroy that goddamn phone. I believe the idea of my sibling being a sacrifice to this agency is absurd, especially when they're just randomly sending a solo explorer into space with minimal training and no pushback. I know my sibling decided they never wanted to go to space back when they were 14. So now that I truly think about it, something here is very wrong. My sibling wouldn't have agreed to this. I'm gonna listen to the recording again. I'm just putting this out here so people know this is happening. Believe me or not, I don't care. But I'm not gonna let my older sibling die in space. Whether it's from losing their own mind or because there's something in space, there shouldn't be anything in space. But I'm not sure what I believe anymore. Did you enjoy this content? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Support us with a like and subscribe so our channel can reach more people. Thanks for watching until the end.